Right, time for a bit of a recap. So last week we did converting miles into kilometers. Now so 1 mile is equal to 1.6 kilometers. So whatever you get in miles, you need to multiply by 1.6 to give the answer in kilometers. Okay, so if you had miles, to get it into kilometers, you've got to multiply it by 1.6, and that gives you the answer in kilometers. Now, before last week, if I'd have asked you to multiply by 1.6, you wouldn't have had a clue. But we've learned a little trick. And we've learned the trick to multiply it by 1 first. So in other words, it's just whatever number it is. So if you've got 16, 16 multiplied by 1 is 16. So that's the first thing we do. We then multiply it by 0.5, which is in other words, we halve it. And at the moment, we've then got 1.5. We need 1.6. So we need to add multiplying by 0.1. Multiplying by 0.1 is the same as dividing it by 10, which we know how to do thanks to our work a couple of weeks ago. And once we've got the answers to all these, we then add them up. So like this. So let's say we had 24 miles and we wanted it in kilometers. So we do 24 times 1 equals 24. 24 multiplied by 0.5, which halves it. Half of 24 is 12. And then 24 multiplied by 0.1, in other words, divided by 10, equals 2.4. Now, where I've put that 2.4 is important, because I'm going to add these up in a minute. The units all need to be underneath one another. Okay? So when you've got your squared paper, you make sure all the units are in the right column, and then you can add it up. So we put a decimal point in the answer line. We've got nothing in this column bar the 4. So that means in the answer column, let me just thicken these lines up so we know that it's the answer column. Answer row even, not column. There we go. So nothing, add 4 equals 4. 4 add 2 equals 8. 2 add 1 equals 3. So the answer is 38.4 kilometers. All right. So don't forget, when you are going from miles into kilometers, you multiply by 1. You then halve it. You then divide it by 10. When you've done all that, you add them all up. Make sure you use the number in the question for each one of these 3 things. I'll give you one more example. Right, let's go 42. Just a bit scruffy, wasn't it? 42 miles equals something kilometers. So we get our 42 and we multiply it by 1, which is just going to stay as 42. And then 42 multiplied by 0.5, which is going to half 42. Half of 42 is 21. And then 42 multiplied by 0.1. So in other words, divide that by 10 is 4.2. So the 4 goes in the units column, same as above. And there you go, 4.2. Okay, decimal point goes in. We're then ready for our answer. So we've got our tens, our units, and our tenths column. So we're going to do tenths column first. 2's on its own. Units column, 2 add 1 add 4 is 7. Tens column, 4 add 2 is 6. So the answer is 67.2 kilometers. Right, let's do a bigger number now. So let's go for 496 miles. And we want to know what that is in kilometers. So we get our 496 and we multiply it by 1 first of all. Now what I want you to think about when you're laying these out is if we've got a 3-digit number, we're going to need 3 digits there, so a space for 3 digits there. The decimal point goes here. We're going to need 3 lines to work it out, so that's 1, 2, 3 lines to work it out, and 1 line for the total. Okay, so you can put your 4 decimal points in. You can put your answer lines in like that. All right, and then you're ready to start kind of working it out. Let me just rub this red line out. So 496 multiplied by 1, that's a bit fat. 496. 496 multiplied by 0.5 is going to be half of it. So half of 400 is 200. Half of 96, or half of 90 would be 45. Half of 6 would be 3. Add the 2 together, it's 48. And then we need to get our 496, and we need to divide it by 10. So 496 moved across one place to the right is going to be 49.6. So if you lay it out like that, it shouldn't cause you any problems. This column first, 6. Next column, 6. Add 8 is 14. Add 9 is 23. 9. Add 4 is 13. Add 4 is 17. Add the 2 at the bottom is 19. 4, add 2, add 1 is 7. So the answer is 793.6 kilometers. So try to set it out like this in your workings out. So if you've got a 3-digit number here, you want to have 3 squares, then your decimal point. Then 4 decimal points going down, then you're ready to rock. So make sure when you're setting it out, you look back at this question, because this is what I want to see. So 5 questions on this level. Here they come. So going the other way now, we're going kilometers into miles. 1 kilometer equals 0.62 miles. That's what we need to do. That's what we need to know. So if we've got a kilometer, we need to multiply it by 0.62 to give us the answer in miles. So multiplying by 0.62, again, if I was to say to you a couple of weeks ago, right, we're going to multiply that number by 0.62, you'd have freaked out. But now, because we've broken it down, we know the trick. So if we're going to multiply by 0.62, we need to multiply by 0.5 first, which we've done before, which is halving the number. Then we multiply by 0.1, which is dividing the number by 10. And then we need 0.01, which is the same as dividing by 100. Then we need another 0.01, which again is dividing by 100. Then we add them all up, and that gives us our 0.62. So this is what we need to do to our numbers here. These 4 things. So similar to the working out last time, but you're going to need an extra line to work it out. You're going to need 4 lines in your sum with a total line at the bottom. So that's 5 lines of workings out. Let me show you what I mean. So let's go with an example. 52 kilometers equals something miles. So we halve it first. So 52 times by 0.5 equals, so it's a 2-digit number, which means we leave 2 squares, then we put a decimal point. We need 4 lines, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5th line for our total. And we can put those lines in. Now we're ready to rock. So 52 multiplied by 0.5, half of 52, half the 51st to give you 25, half the 2 to give you 1, add the 2 together, 26. Then we do 52 multiplied by 0.1, which is the same as dividing by 10. So the 52, not the 26, ignore that. The 52, you're going to move one place to the right. So instead of being 52, it's going to become 5.2. Now we do 52 multiplied by 0.01 now. So again, it moves one more place to the right. So the 5 and the 2 are going to go there and there. But obviously we need a 0 in there. Same again on the next line. 52 multiplied by 0.01 gives you the same answer. And then we're ready to add it up. Smallest column first. 2 add 2 is 4. Next column, 2 add 5 is 7. Add another 5 is 12. 6 add 5 is 11. Add the 1 at the bottom is 12. 2 add the 1 at the bottom is 3. So the answer is 32.24 miles. Next example. Don't want to do red. I want to be, let's go 94 kilometers equals how many miles? So we get our 94 and we multiply it by 0.5 first. That's going to give us half of 94. It's a 2-digit number, so we need 2 squares before our decimal point. We need 4 lines to work it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, plus a 5th for our total. We'll get our total lines in ready. And then we can start working it out. 94 times 0.5, half of 94. So half of 90 is 45. Half of 4 is 2. Add the 2 together, 47. 94 times by 0.1. Don't forget it's the 94, it's not the 47, it's got nothing to do with the 47. So 94 divided by 10 is going to be 9.4. 94 multiplied by 0.01, in other words, divided by 100 is 0.94. Same again on the next line. And then we're ready to add it up. Smallest column first. 4 add 4 is 8. 4 add 9 is 13. Add 9 is 22. 7 add 9 is 16. Add the 2 at the bottom is 18. 4 add the 1 at the bottom is 5. 58.28 miles. So that's level 2. Here come your questions. Right, level 3. Obviously level 3 is going to be a bit trickier than level 1 and level 2. And this is why. We are going to do kilometers into miles, but we're going to get a little bit more accurate. Because the 0.62 number I've been using isn't wholly accurate. It's rounded up. The actual number to a few more decimal places is 0.621371. Alright? So what we're going to try and do is let's go, instead of to 2 decimal places, let's go to 4 decimal places. So let's get really, really accurate. And because this is a 7, we're going to round the 3 up to a 4. So let's go 0.6214. That's the number we're going to use. So whatever I give you to convert, you're going to multiply it by 0.6214. So to get 0.6214, we're going to do 0.5. We're going to do 0.1 to get us the 0.6. We're going to do 0.01 and the 0.01 to get us the 2. So we're there at the minute. Alright. So I'll tell you what, if I do a little red line there, and a little red line there, we know that's where we're up to. Now we need this one. Now if you think of it on its own, it would be 0.001, which is divided by 1,000. 0.001. So that one's easy enough. And then we need this one, which is dividing by 10,000. So it's 0.0001 and 4 of them. One of them. 2 of them. 3 of them. 4 of them. Alright, quite a long sum. So this is how many lines you're going to need for your answer. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lines for your answer. Alright, and then 1 line for your total. So you're going to need 10 lines to work it out. So let's have a little go. Let's go for 74 kilometers into miles. So we're going to find 0.5 of the number. We're going to find 0.1 of the number. 0.01 of the number. 0.01 of the number. That gets us up to 0.62. Don't forget, we're going for 0.6214. We're then going to find 0.001 of the number. We're then going to find 0.0001 of the number 4 times. 3. There's 2. There's 3. And there's 4. I've run out of squares. So we take our 74 and we do all these things to it. So 74 halved. Half of 70 is 35. Half of 4 is 2. 35 or 2 is 37. Now we can put all our decimal points in. Oh, got a stopwatch going off somewhere. There's no way I'll be able to find that. So we'll just have to ignore it. Decimal point for the answer. My answer line's going to be quite squished. I think I'm going to need a fair few decimal places. So I will carry that line on. So we take our 74, we divide it by 10 to give 7.4. Divide it by 100 to give 0.74 and 0.74 again. Divided by 1,000 is going to be that. Divided by 10,000 is going to be... Hopefully that beeping's going to stop in a minute. And then it's the same answer 4 times at the bottom. Surely it's going to stop. Ah, there we go. So there we go, that we're ready for our answer. Let me just draw some black lines in, so I know where I'm up to. So furthest column to the right is 4, add 4, add 4, add 4. 4 4s are 16. Carry the 1. 4 add 7 is 11, add another 7 is 18, add another 7 is 25, and another 7 is 32. Add the 1 at the bottom is 33. Next column, 4, add 4 is 8, add 7 is 15, add 3, I forgot what it was, 15, add 3 is 18. 4, add 7 is 11, add 7 is 18, add the 1 at the bottom is 19. 7, add 7 is 14, add the 1 at the bottom is 15. 3, add 1 is 4. So 45.9836 miles. So a lot more accurate. A lot more working out to do. Right, here's the next one, the last one. So 82 kilometers into miles. So 82 times by, oh, I'm not going to have room for that. 0.5 of 82, 0.1 of 82, 0.01 of 82, 0.01 of 82, 0.001 of 82, 0.0001, 0.0001, 4 of these, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, that's 4 of them, isn't it? Yep, that's 4 of them. So it's a 2-digit number, so the decimal point is going to go there all the way down. Last time it went to 4 decimal places, didn't it? So I think it'll go to 4 again. So 82, half of 82 is 41, 41. 82 divided by 10 is 8.2. Divided by 100 is 0.82. 100 again. Divided by 1,000, everything's going to move over 1. So it's going to be that. 10,000, everything's going to move over again. So it's going to be that. And that's going to repeat for the next few lines. So I can just fill that in all the way down. And then we add them up. Smallest column first. 2 add 2 add 2 add 2 is 8. 2 add 8 is 18. Add 8 is 26. Add another 8 is 34. Add another 8 is 42. Carry the 4. 2 add 2 is 4. Add 8 is 12. Add the 4 at the bottom is 16. 2 add 8 is 10. Add 8 is 18. Add the 1 at the bottom is 19. 1 add 8 is 9. Add the 1 at the bottom is 10. And 4 add the 1 at the bottom is 5. The answer is 50.9628 miles. So I'll just give you some 2-digit ones to do with these. I'm not going to go too tricky with the actual numbers, but obviously tricky with the workings out. So good luck.